Henderson, Nevada, October 5th, 1980, around 9:20 p.m. A nude female's body would be found on State Road 146 near Arroyo Grande Road. Investigators noticed the unidentified female, later known as Arroyo Grande Jane Doe, was found in a dump site, and they believe she was killed somewhere else, in a different location. She would have multiple head wounds, believed to have been caused by being hit with a hammer. The strikes were mainly to the back of her head and near her right ear. One of her teeth on the lower portion of her mouth was knocked out while the murder occurred. She would be stabbed 7 times in her upper back, and she was laying face down. There was evidence to show she was sexually assaulted. There was a piece of yellow, possibly orange-colored shower curtain would be found nearby. Investigators believe the killer may have washed her at some point. She died hours before she was found. Estimated age was 13 to 25 years old. A white female, height between 5 foot to 5 foot 4 inches tall. Weight 98 pounds to 110 pounds. Hair color light blondish brown. Eye color, dependent on the source, blue, green, or hazel. Marks and defining features: pierced ears, a badly done tattoo of a letter S. It was done in blue ink, located in the inner portion of her right forearm. The tattoo seemed to have been done not long before death. Dentals are available, fingerprints, and so is DNA. There would be some television shows that aired information about the case. This would generate some leads, but none of the leads would get Arroyo Jane Doe her identity back, nor would it get investigators any closer to arresting her killer or killers. Facial reconstruction would be done in hopes the more lifelike face would get someone to say, "I know this person." Her body has been exhumed in the early 2000s and in 2015 to get more evidence like DNA. The coroner for Clark County said this, and quote, "Someone is missing their little girl. Someone knows who she is. Someone needs to come forward to help us." The case of Arroyo Jane Doe would make Clark County create their own cold case project. This would be started to help solve cases in the area that have gone cold and identify victims that have lost their names. Her case wouldn't move much further along throughout the years. The case would go cold. Decades later, in 2015, Arroyo Grande Jane Doe, her case would be reopened. A new facial reconstruction done by Carl Koppelman would be released to the public. DNA technology would be advanced enough to start putting the DNA through genetic genealogy databases in hopes there would be an eventual match. That day would eventually come around 6 years later. December 2nd, 2021, Henderson Police Department would announce to the public that Arroyo Grande Jane Doe would be identified as 17-year-old Tammy Terrell. She was born July 4th, 1963 in New Mexico. Before Tammy Terrell would vanish, she was living in a group home. The day she would be last seen was September 28th, 1980. She was dropped off at the Roswell, New Mexico State Fair. The last time Tammy was seen alive was that same day. She was with a white man and a woman at a restaurant located in Roswell, New Mexico. We don't know exactly what occurred after this sighting. We don't know where she was trying to go. We don't know why she was killed and dumped in Henderson, Nevada. The approximate distance between Roswell, New Mexico and Henderson, Nevada is 762 miles, or 11 hours and 6 minutes apart driving. That's a good distance from each other. The lead detective that was on the case in 1980, his name is Detective John Williams. He did pay for Tammy's burial back then with his own money. He worked the case from 1980 until he retired in 2006. He also visited Tammy's grave every year, the day that she would die, for their anniversary. Only half of the case has been solved. Tammy got her identity back. Now the other half needs to be solved this time, which is finding out who killed her. Tammy Terrell, she had her whole life ahead of her. Someone had sick intentions and will cut her life short. If you have any information, you can call Henderson PD at 702-267-4750 or Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. Stay safe out there.